7,656. The number of offenders convicted of nonviolent crimes put behind bars in Oklahoma in 2014. According to the Oklahoma Department of Corrections, more than 28% of the state's incarcerated population in 2014 was convicted of drug and alcohol-related offenses. Payne County Jail Administrator Reese Lane says he believes substance abuse and addiction are the driving forces behind nonviolent crimes.
Most of what I see, I believe, is just drug-related. It's either drug charges, alcohol charges, which is a drug, or it's property crime that's related to an addict, or it's a violent crime as a result of addiction. So I think the common denominator is substance abuse and mental health issues in here. I don't believe differentiating between violent and nonviolent crime is the common denominator. A possession charge is not a violent charge, but it indicates addiction, and the addiction leads to violence.
In 2014, more than 28,000 convicted criminals were stashed away in state prisons, 14,575 of them doing time for nonviolent crimes. Oklahoma has at least 122 mandatory minimum prison sentences. However, during the last legislative session, state Congress proposed legislation which could potentially reduce the number of nonviolent offenders behind bars.
In May, Oklahoma Governor Mary Fallin signed House Bill 1518, which will go into effect November 1st. The bill will allow judges to deviate from mandatory minimum criminal sentences for nonviolent crimes if the offender is eligible.
What this new act appears to do is to give the court the ability to waive any minimums, but then it has a whole list of exclusions.
Offenders convicted of sex crimes, illegal drug trafficking, and violating the Oklahoma Anti-Terrorism Act are some of the exclusions.
You're going to see it apply to a lot of drug offenses that aren't trafficking, repeat drug offenders, repeat felony drug offenders.
To waive the minimum sentence, the judge must find the punishment unnecessary to protect the public, and the offender must be eligible for a community or diversion program or alternative court. Payne County District Attorney Laura Thomas says she believes the bill will have little impact in Payne County.
I don't think it will very much because it has such a long list of exceptions that it really comes down to mostly the drug offenses. And the judge is going to know how many times that individual has been before the court and what's been offered and what's been failed, what's been refused.
Regardless of its potential impact, the bill is evidence the legislature is opening the discussion to prison alternatives to get Oklahomans the help they need.